What's going on, guys, and today I can't wait to get back to working on my S chassis. The only car that's acceptable to sell is a shell with a pile of parts. And on top of that, they all seem to have the same underlying issues with their power steering system, and obviously mine's not going to be any exception. So much so that multiple days of my life have been absolutely ruined just slaving away trying to figure out how to make my car stop leaking this red substance and run correctly. And that brings us to today, where I've replaced pretty much every single component of my power steering system just to make it kind of work. I'm going to show you guys the whole process of everything that I did to get my power steering working at 100% finally, except for the steering rack, which we already put a brand new one in last time. But the start to this tale is the aftermath of my broken down car in a garage after I decided to max out the speedometer on squealing belts. And that absolutely did no damage whatsoever, especially not to this fan shroud that was not bolted down correctly. And my goal at this point is to rebuild the pump, so I'm trying to get to it and disassemble it. But first I have all three of these brand new accessory belts since they were all squealing, and I'm pretty sure I just broke one on the highway. Oh my god, there's literally play. Dude, that's my tensioner. I did not loosen it. So I'm going to replace the other two and then take out my power steering pump. And the first little surprise was this. Yeah, my alternator looks like that because I don't know, how is it running? I don't know why. I could not tell you. But you know, in other news, check out how warped this tensioner bolt is. I don't know how that happened either. Alright, my dog Pop Smoke is in here. She's gonna help right now. You gonna put this on? Yeah, go ahead, throw it in there. Okay, here it comes off. We're gonna rebuild this thing. This shit better work, bro. Oh, yep, yeah, this is definitely the point of no return here. But as I got deeper into this rebuild, I realized that I don't think this is much of a rebuild. It's kind of just like taking it apart and putting it together less good. So chances of this working are pretty minute at this point. Alright, I'm gonna try starting it now. Everybody place your bets on what the chances that rebuild did anything are. Yep, that runs like a champ. Good job, buddy. Fantastic work. Alright, all jokes aside, that was a pretty pathetic attempt at rebuilding my power steering pump, but the reason for that was because the only rebuild kit I could find was for a single cam pump, and for some reason the dual cam and the single cam have different pumps. Clearly now I need a new pump though. But the issue persists of it being really hard to find a dual cam pump. The solution though is using an SR pump. Now they are different, but if you transfer over everything, supposedly the SR pump works the same way. So just like every other time, I end up crawling back to the power steering on this thing to work on it yet again. Okay, and now that we've got both the pumps here, we can sort of compare them. And it looks like these two should line up good. And as long as this bracket, which it looks the exact same actually, so that will line up, and then we have to obviously switch over the pulleys because they're different ribbed amount of teeth and size or whatever. So those we can switch out pretty easy. Well, it looks like it's actually very important to reuse the bolt because this bolt looks kind of entirely different style from the old one. And with that, everything should pretty much line up the exact same now. All right, well, one last problem I ran into is this hose didn't fit around that new neck, so I may or may not have just torn that bitch up and took it to AutoZone. But I got this heater hose, and I got whatever was slightly bigger than the opening on the old hose. This inlet just comes off with 2 bolts, and that could just be one more thing you switch from the old pump. I mean, if I'm able to do that to it, probably needs to be replaced. Okay, I got everything hooked back up, but just so you know, that line kind of kinks. I'm not gonna worry about it just because I think I'll probably end up changing out that reservoir with the whole power steering kit. And that's exactly what I did, because I dropped more than anyone should ever have to on this brand new ISR power steering kit. And the fact that the Chase Bays one cost more and this is the broke people version is just ridiculous. Now I wouldn't exactly say it was worth it, but just look at how sexy this thing is going together. All the lines are braided, it's pretty simple. You've just got this one that replaces the old high pressure line, and that's the silver one that goes right into that old bracket. And then you run one of the braided lines with a clamp to the pump and then to the reservoir. But after those first 2 lines, it gets a little fuzzy because I got pretty deep and dirty in there and I didn't record much. But it was pretty much just a long process of removing all the unnecessary lines, which is pretty much just this cooling loop, and I cut that shit right out. But after I hook up the last 2 lines that go to the actual power steering rack, I'm able to bleed the system finally. And what did we learn today? Just do it all the first time. I knew when I did that rack, I'm like, I'm going to need the ISR kit at some point. I'm going to probably need a new pump at some point, but I'm not going to do it yet. A couple weeks later, I'm $800 deep in some bullshit. Should have just done it all at once. So thank you guys so much for watching. This was a short one, but if you want to see more stuff coming, I got that EK build. The engine is almost ready to go together. But we're also going to have a lot of unique content coming up with all my friends' new cars, because they don't fuck with pieces of shit like me. I'm going to be bagging my friend's brand new Accord, and also my other friend has a 2020 Mustang GT that we're going to be doing a lot of stuff to. So stay tuned for that. All these videos coming soon, and I will see you guys next time.